Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kendall Tyson. I am the owner of Aspire Counseling and Wellness Center. And I know that it's been a while since I have connected with you. But there's been this thing that's really been heavy on my heart for the last few weeks, and it deals with banishing doubt. There's been a lot going on in the world, and I can say personally that feelings of doubt have really been creeping into my space and making it difficult to really be action oriented on things that I want to do. Um, so I can only imagine what it's like for other people in the world. So I just wanted to, share with you some enlightenment that I've realized over the last few weeks and, through some research that I've conducted when it comes to banishing this feeling of doubt, which doubt's normal. We're not perfect. We're ever evolving individuals. Um, we grow, we learn, we fail, and depending on your level of growth, failure, doubt can either be very strong or not. And we know that life is very cyclical. So, depending on which season of life that you're currently occupying, your level of doubt can be minimal or it can be very high. But I just wanted to offer you some things that to think about and some things to do to kind of banish those feelings when they do arise and have a bit more presence of mind so that you can continue to be action oriented toward the goals that you want to attain. And so the first one is having faith in the process. And this isn't necessarily spiritual leaning, but it's knowing that life is a process, success is a process, it's a journey, it's not a destination. The learning is in the process, it's not in the attainment of that one thing. That's not the learning. That's your end result. Or we know that once you've gotten something, it could also be the open door to something else. So that's just one rung on the ladder of success. And realizing that everything that we go through is a part of our process, and our process is very distinct from other people, even if we're in the same profession. Everyone goes through something different, and everyone doesn't always share the stuff that they go through. And I think that if we were a bit more transparent about not only the highs and the successes that we experience, but also some of the lows um, and how we were able to work through those, that it would just shine a light on how human the process is, and that we all really are experiencing some very similar sensations and situations. But one thing I can encourage you to do is when you are feeling these pains of doubt, look back on your small victories. Small victories add up to big successes. And again, that's part of the process. You're not going to, in most cases, you won't get to this big thing without experiencing some blows and setbacks, some learning opportunities, and things like that. It's the small steps that get you toward that ultimate goal, which helps you to then be a bit more successful in your process. And another one is, just be firmly rooted in your purpose. It's just having a clear understanding of why you're doing what you're doing. Whenever those seeds of doubt are flourishing in your mind, in your heart, and your behavior, it's reminding yourself of your why. Why did you choose to go into this profession? Why do you choose to help the people that you help? And that is a strong catalyst to reigniting that passion that you felt to get started in the first place. Like, why did I become a mental health professional? I love working with people. Why did I become a professional school counselor? Like, when it gets very difficult, or when I was working in the United States and I was having to do testing, which I absolutely do not like, it's reminding myself, why am I doing this work? And it's because I love helping children. I love working with kids. I love working with families. I love working with professionals and helping them to be the best versions of themselves. I endeavor to change the face of therapy on the other side. so that people can know that folks that look like you, we go to therapy, we seek help, we take care of ourselves, we give back to our communities. You're not alone. We all struggle, but we can definitely be there to lend a level of support that our community needs. So, and don't let, so when it comes to having faith in the process, don't let what you currently see or what you're currently experiencing stop you from pursuing your passion. You may be in a season of stillness. I truly feel like I am in a season of stillness at the moment. I've been in the United States since January. We're supposed to go back to Beijing in February. But what comes out of that stillness? What's the purpose? I truly believe that everything that happens has a purpose. I don't believe that things are for naught. It's just, how are you going to prime your mind to see what the purpose in the situation is? How am I going to let this season of stillness allow me to grow, build the level of business that I want to build? How are you going to allow whatever season that you're in, be it a season of growth, a season of stillness, a season of maybe confusion? What are you going to do with what you're given to help you get to where you're wanting to go? These are some ways that hopefully will help you to banish that doubt that you may be experiencing. So another topic that I wanted to talk about when it comes to banishing doubt is knowing your worth. Oftentimes, and I can say that I've experienced this too, it's feeling like, am I supposed to be here? That's what we call like that imposter syndrome. Is this where I'm supposed to be? Is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Do I belong here? Yes. Unequivocally, yes, you do. You've done the work. You've gotten the degree. You've earned the credential. You've helped the people. You have the CV to prove it. But you have to internally know, again, what your purpose is. And you have to have that internal drive and understanding of who you are and what you want to fuel the growth that you're trying to get. And try not to be so externally focused on the opinions of other people. Someone told me that, don't take criticism from people that you're not going to take advice or feedback from, because everybody's not here to assist you, right? So it's knowing that you're very capable and just reminding yourself of some of the things that you've been through that have proven your capability, because you wouldn't be here at this point. I wouldn't be here at this point if we haven't overcome some very, very big obstacles. And knowing that you have a strong sense of self, you know who you are, you know what you're about, you know what you want, you know what you're passionate about, and encouraging yourself through these very difficult times. And that can be, if you're one for motivational quotes, having motivational quotes around. In my apartment back in Beijing, I have a whole wall plastered of motivational quotes and scriptures. And if you lean more spiritually, having your scriptures, that way you can see them on a daily basis. That way you can reinvigorate that level of passion that you have. Listening to podcasts are going to help you motivated, helping you understand that you are more than capable. You're more than what you're currently going through. But it's an inside job. You have to do the work internally to be able to manifest these external desires and wishes and goals that you want to have. Success is very much a mental job. Having that, I'm reading a book right now. It's the unapologetic guide to Black mental health, and it's speaking of that psychological fortitude to keep pushing, to keep going despite what's happening, but also knowing that we're human and we're not necessarily meant to, endeavor everything alone. There are people out there to support yourself. You're worthy no matter what level of the success ladder you occupy. Period. Point blank, period. So another strategy I would say is setting SMART goals. I think goals are the framework to help you get to where you're going. It's very hard to know where you're going if you don't have a framework or a foundation or a plan to get there. So we know that SMART goal stands for specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. And I've taken it a step further. I do quarterly goals, right? I then make those big goals down into actionable steps with time-bound moments to let me know by this time I want to do this, but it's also being flexible. But I also identify what is the level of support that I need, what are the resources that I need, who can I reach out to, and how am I going to reward myself when I've attained this level of success, when I have accomplished this particular goal, because accomplishing this goal is going to open the door to another level that I'm trying to reach. So just doing your best to be flexible so that you can adapt to the changing environment. The profession that I'm in is rapid pace. It changes all the time. Information is new. So it's knowing that being well connected, making goals, setting goals, having a plan is very important. So one of the ways that I do this is I've set a vision board, and I do like 2 a year, one at the beginning and one mid-year. That kind of just is a visual representation of what do I want this year to look like, and how can I siphon from that specific goals that I want to really work on. And it's helped me thus far, and I would definitely say that it could be a tool that you could use to kind of help you move forward in your process. And it's really important just to know that some things are going to work and some things aren't. But again, that's part of the process. It's a learning. Everything, I try to see everything as a learning opportunity, especially when I don't want to do it. It's probably where the most learning is going to occur. And moving beyond that, it's being prepared. Preparation is key. Preparation goes a long way to quell those feelings of doubt that we may experience. And Arthur Ashe has an amazing quote that I use a lot, and it's one important key to success is self-confidence. And one important key to self-confidence is preparation. When you've done the back work, when you've done what you needed to do to be an authority on a particular issue, that's a level of confidence that will exude in your performance. But if you've not done what you needed to do, it shows up. Right? We don't want to be seen as fraudulent or imposters. So do what you need to do so that you can command the audience, so that you can have that level of self-confidence and pride in your work, and it will show in the work that you do. Attend the classes, seek professional support, do the research, make a plan. There's so much knowledge out there that can help you move beyond where you currently are. And please understand, as I share this with you, these have been thoughts that have been swirling in my own head and my own experience, and experiences that my friends and clients and students have experienced. So it's born out of the life that I have been living for the last few years. So here's another tip for you. Connect with like-minded people. And I don't say that in a sense for you to use people. We're not going to be users. But, it's been said that you can tell your future by the 5 closest people around you. Like, what does their life look like? Are they out there striving? Are they working? Are they giving back? That could be a glimpse into the future that you may have. But it's connecting with people that are honest, for one, and have demonstrated integrity, that are consistent, that are encouraging, that are going to be truthful with you, laced with empathy. Constructive criticism is key to moving beyond our current reality. We don't do everything right. We don't know everything, right? And having people that we trust to kind of help us see ourselves better and move beyond our current levels of comfort are going to help us with attaining the level of success that we want, breaking barriers that we may currently experience. And as you're connecting with these individuals, don't fall into the trap of comparison, which is very easy. And I say that, again, as a professional that has fallen into the trap of comparison. Our stories are different. Our journeys are different. Our circumstances are different. Therefore, our outcomes won't be the same. But there's so much learning through everyone's process, right? So it would be unfair to myself or someone else to compare our situations because they didn't start the same. The process has been different and they won't end the same. And, hopefully everyone will attain the level of success that they're seeking. But when you are so externally focused on what someone else has, you rob yourself of the joy and the comfort of knowing who you are, like we said before, and pushing past the barriers that you have and growing your own level of self-confidence and self-worth, right? So one task I say is seek out a mentor, someone that can help groom you professionally, connect you maybe to the right, people, or just give you sound and, concrete advice on how to move through struggles that you may be experiencing. Mentorship is really important. But again, I would say that making sure this individual operates with integrity and honesty are two key factors to making this work. And knowing that it's a symbiotic relationship. It's not just they give, you take. You're both giving in some regard, right? You have just as much to offer as the person that you're seeking mentorship from. So remember that it is a dynamic relationship. It's not static. And if you want it to work, you have to do your part as well. This is one that I notice a lot as we gain these letters and these credentials. You're not what you do. Your worth does not have to be wrapped up in your profession, in your title, in your bank account, in the car you drive, in the circle of friends that you have, because all of that can go away. And then if these accolades are no longer attached to you, do you know who you are? So one way to go about banishing doubt is remembering that your character, how you treat people, the work that you do in the world, how are you helping build others up? What resources are you providing to other people? How are you helping give people the same level of support that you're getting? Those things speak more to who you are than, your profession or your title. All those things are important because we work really hard for them, right? But they shouldn't be attached to your level of self-worth. Because we know that this world is changing. And especially in the times that we're living in right now, there's been so much upheaval and job loss, and I don't wish that on anyone. But in the reality of the times that we're experiencing, it's very important to know without a shadow of a doubt who you are without everything else external. And how do you build that? How do you strengthen that? How do you grow that? Divorce yourself from the notion that you have to attain a certain level of success in order to become someone. It's not true, right? You are worthy just because of who you are and what you occupy right now, and the good that you give back to the world. So I just have one more, and it's one of the most important ones. It's take action. When I'm feeling doubtful about something, it's probably the very thing that I need to do. If I'm feeling a level of fear about something, it's probably because I'm moving outside of my comfort zone, and that is not a space that I'm comfortable with. Because remember, we're all novices at some point. The expert was once a novice, and you have to reach out beyond your comfort zone in order to grow. That is where the real birthplace of growth happens. It's outside your comfort zone. So I say this all the time. Whatever you're afraid of, do it afraid. You're safe. You're not in a dangerous situation. But don't be paralyzed with fear. Don't let fear be the thing that stops you from attaining that level of success or that accomplishment that you're really wanting to realize. Failure is a necessary step towards success. You can't have success without experiencing failure. And it's such a learning opportunity. And I say that as somebody who hates to fail, right? I have some perfectionistic tendencies, and I don't like to fail, but I understand that it's important to do so. You learn so much. You learn about yourself when you've hit rock bottom. How, do you have the grit? Do you have the resilience necessary in order to meet that metric that you're seeking? Because you're going to need it. Because again, we live in times that are so fast-paced and they change, and you have to be flexible and adaptable. So if you're engaging in that, what if this doesn't happen? What if that doesn't happen? I always say, well, ask yourself this: what if it does? What if you get the very thing that you're seeking? Then what? What's the plan beyond the what if, right? You have to have that, again, that psychological fortitude. I think it was Dr. Reed from that book, that psychological fortitude to push beyond the doubt. The doubt is normal. Everybody experiences it, right? But everybody doesn't move past it. So are you going to be the one that moves past it? And I'll say, as a licensed mental health professional, if you're noticing that your levels of anxiety are heightened and they're not dissipating, you may want to seek professional help. If you notice that you're struggling in multiple areas of your life and it's just hard to manage, it doesn't have to get really bad before you reach out for help. Part of my job and my passion is to do the work of reducing the stigma surrounding mental health and mental illness in the Black community and communities of color. There's a lot going on right now, and we all at some point need to reach out to for the help of someone professional, and it's okay to do so, right? Give yourself permission to do the thing that you need to do to help yourself become more mentally and physically well. And so I know that I spoke about goals earlier. If you go check out my website, I offer a free resource of a goal setting template for, if you're looking to learn to set SMART goals, or if you're seeking someone to work with as a therapist or a coach. I do both to help you move beyond the place that you're stuck at right now. My website is aspirecounselingwell.com. You can find me on Instagram at aspire_counselingwell or Facebook, Aspire Counseling and Wellness Center. I really have enjoyed reconnecting with you all, and I will definitely be more consistent in the future when it comes to providing you quality tips on how to better care for yourself, your mental and physical health. And I just say that do what you need to do to move beyond the doubt that you may be experiencing. We're banishing doubt. We're banishing doubt. And I'll leave you with a quote by Karen Salmansohn. Let go of the thoughts that don't make you strong. I hope that everyone has a great day, and we'll talk soon. Bye.